Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has stated something you don't normally see from him, having directly to do with your net worth. If you're in crypto anyway, Brad Garlinghouse says that you can expect your net worth to go up. Now, that's not the words he used, but read between the lines here. I mean, the headline says it all, right? From CNBC, Ripple CEO predicts crypto market will double in size to $5 trillion by the end of 2024. Now, the interesting thing about that is, if anything, it's certainly reasonable to suppose that might be where we're going to end up. Maybe the top of the cycle, but frankly, that sounds a little conservative. I mean, it could be that's where we top. It's certainly reasonable, but there are all sorts of reputable analysts out there thinking, for the asset class, it's probably going to be closer to $10 trillion. So we're going to find out together. Nobody knows for sure. But can you imagine what that's going to mean? I mean, I'm not as excited about Bitcoin. If Bitcoin doubles in price, I'll probably just finally sell it all. I've been holding it since 2017. I was buying it when it was thousands of dollars, and if it goes to 120, 30, 140, $150,000, I'll be like, okay. Because otherwise I'll be like, I'm being a greedy son of a bitch. So I just gotta take it for what it is and just move on. But that's not where the real excitement is. The real excitement is in XRP and other altcoins out there, because if you're talking about the asset class doubling and a huge percentage of that is going to be Bitcoin, that means the multiple for XRP and other coins is going to be way more than a 2x, especially when you consider money is going to be cycling through, jumping from coin to coin to coin, which is always the case. There'll only be a handful of coins taking off on any given day or week. And so if you're talking about a peak of even $5 trillion, my God, the degree to which you're going to get a multiplier effect on your alts is just insane. It's hard to overstate the degree to which this is going to be truly life-changing for so many people in the space. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, piece reads as follows. The CEO of blockchain startup Ripple sees the combined market capitalization of the cryptocurrency market topping $5 trillion this year. And I'll pause to note, and they talk about this a little bit later in the article, but at the time I'm recording this, it's 2.7 trillion. So, yeah. And it was slightly lower than that when, I think it's 2.6 trillion when he said this, but still over $5 trillion. That is not Looney Tunes land. That is not wacky. But the implications of that are staggering if you're in alts. If you hold altcoins, whoa, buckle up. Piece continues. Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse told CNBC he expects the entire value of the crypto market to double, citing macro factors including the arrival of the first U.S. spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, as well as the upcoming so-called Bitcoin halving. I've been around this industry for a long time, and I've seen these trends come and go, Garlinghouse told CNBC. I'm very optimistic. I think the macro trends, the big picture things like the ETFs, they're driving for the first time real institutional money. You're seeing that drives demand. And at the same time, demand is increasing, supply is decreasing, Garlinghouse said. That doesn't take an economics major to tell you what happens when supply contracts and demand expands. Yeah, so I'll say here, I agree. I would certainly agree that this is a factor that matters. To the degree to which it matters this cycle, it's largely an error. So I will tell you, and I don't have the numbers committed to memory, but I've read enough about this, and there's been enough analysis done to know, and certainly happily acknowledge, that the degree to which the spot Bitcoin ETFs have been adopted is greater than what pretty much anybody thought was likely to occur. In fact, they're where it is now, people thought, well, if it's really successful, maybe by the end of 2024, that's where we'd be, but that's where we are now. So certainly acknowledge that, happy to see it. But of course, I'll continue to acknowledge that at least at this point, the vast majority of the Bitcoin getting snatched up is nothing to do with the ETFs. So yes, it matters. Now I'd agree with Garlinghouse on that, but I still maintain my position that I was opining about, in the earliest days of ETF adoption after they got approved. And actually, I even said this before it got approved, before we knew technically for sure. This is going to be way more impactful over a span of years and decades. That absolutely, I still firmly believe that, but certainly acknowledge it's been a bigger hit to this point, this cycle, than pretty much anybody would have guessed. Happy to see that, of course. So Garlinghouse isn't wrong. I'm just saying that, is that one of the things that's really going to drive this asset class to double? I think it was just time to happen anyway. I mean, market cycles are real. You can see what's happening with, the Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. So it's up. The answer's up, right? So I think that this is going to come anyway. But anyway, peace follows. Peace continues, rather. The first U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved on January 10th by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. They trade on U.S. stock exchanges and allow institutions and retail investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin without directly owning the underlying asset. The Bitcoin halving is a technical event that takes place roughly every 4 years in Bitcoin's history. It halves the total mining reward to Bitcoin miners, which are volunteers on the Bitcoin network who use high-powered computers to verify transactions and mint new tokens. The last such event took place in 2020, and the next one is slated to happen later this month. The overall market cap of the crypto industry is easily predicted to double by the end of this year, as it's impacted by all of these macro factors, Garlinghouse said. The total market capitalization was roughly $2.6 trillion as of April 4th. If the market were to double, that would imply a new total crypto market cap of $5.2 trillion. Bitcoin has risen more than 140% in the last 12 months. Yeah. It's again, see, that's what's exciting here. Like, it's, if he feels comfortable saying that, it's because he knows something which, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's somewhat obvious, but like the fact that it's true, when I really think about it and let that sink in, it makes my simple little Moon Lambo brain explode. Basically, my brain has explode. That's pretty much it, because I understand what this is going to mean, and I've been positioning myself in crypto for over 6 years. I've never cashed out to USD. And I've articulated why many times, so I'm not going to again here. This will be the cycle, though, I believe, where I finally do, and I finally achieve the life-changing wealth. Now, there's still time for me to screw up the whole damn thing. Like, things could go wrong, but I'm very optimistic that on the whole, even though it's going to be a messy process and it may be stressful, it's going to be fine. Because, look, I don't get stressed out when price action goes to the downside, when it's negative. But if we're in an environment where I'm cashing out, I'm a human too. Like, I joke that I'm not, but that's just because I am basically a robot. When the price goes down, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. And I'm genuinely, if I weren't like that, I wouldn't have made it 6 years. But on the flip side, it's kind of like, okay, what am I doing here? Got to get out, but I can't say exactly what I'm going to target for each individual coin. Not exactly, because like the market's too dynamic. There's going to be a lot of moving parts here. And so as far as, tapping out, like where am I going to be willing to sell my XRP? Well, if it runs sooner than later, I mean, I'll probably sell it at a lower price than if say all my other altcoins run, and I'm very happy I already got my life-changing wealth, and then XRP at the tail end finally starts to run, which there's some historic precedent for, obviously. If that happens, I may be willing to just let the thing ride. I'll be like, well, I mean, okay, I'll still sell a bunch between $5 to $8, but maybe I do save a chunk to see if it goes like 15 or 20 bucks. Why not? If I've already got it, like, what the hell does it matter? Put it all on red. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. But see, there's too many moving parts for me to say definitively what I'll do. But I have a pretty broad idea, and in terms of the multiplier effect I want for my overall crypto portfolio, my bags, if you will, from here, I have an understanding of that, and then I'll just have to see what that looks like as things pop. But I mean, there are a bunch of coins I'd be willing to sell. Like, if I get a 4 or 5x on some of the coins that I hold, even just from roughly here, I might sell some of them even before they hit a new all-time high, because you don't know for sure if some, like, a lot of coins are not going to hit new all-time highs, I believe. But I'm just looking for myself. Like, there's that still would be meaningful for a lot of these coins, because some of these coins I've been holding since 2017. I just hold like that. It works. Have broad exposure to an asset class and then hold for prolonged periods of times. Wouldn't you know it? Life-changing wealth. So again, I still have to technically achieve that by doing the actual function of selling. But my God, like, I'm positioned, folks. I'm ready. And I know so many of you feel the same way. And so many of you are just like me. You're like, it is time for XRP. Like, it has to freaking go. And we got so screwed last cycle, but it's coming, folks. This is the moment in time where this happens. So we'll find out together exactly what that means, but I have never been more optimistic about this all than I am right now. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.